What's up guys, Pendragon DX here and welcome to this week's Road to Ranked deck profile. Now guys, this week we're using UA. Now UA, I've been working with the build for a while and I really like the concept of the deck, and I just wanted to try it this week because it is our first week doing a longer Road to Ranked, because this week now we have Road to Ranked every day. So I figured, why not get straight back into it and actually use a deck I like using again. Well, I've liked using every deck for you so far, surprisingly. But I want to use a deck that I feel like might be able to actually compete this week with the other decks that I'm going to be coming up against. So, without talking about too much, we'll go straight into the deck and get down to it. So, first up guys, we have Heroic Challenger Assault Halberd. Now, this card guys is good in the fact that you might be asking why am I running Heroic Challenger. Its effect is amazing guys. If your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon him. And then it also affects if he attacks a defense position monster, you inflict piercing damage. And if this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can add a heroic card from your deck to your hand. Now, that you may be asking why that effect is good in UA. It's because you can add another one of him to your hand to add plays. On the odd chance you open completely and utterly disastrous and you open one of him, summon him, attack, deal damage, and another one to your hand, summon him again, overlay into an XYZ. Let you get some plays off and let you hold off for a bit longer. Then we have a UA Block Breaker at 2. Now this card has the same effect as all UAs guys. When you have a UA on the field, you can return that UA to your hand to special summon him. But then his effect also is once per turn, when your opponent special summons a monster, you can change their battle position, and if you do, negate their effects. Now he's handy for sitting on in defense mode. He's 2700 defense. He's handy, he'll buy you some time and he will stall out the game a bit. Also, he is a level 7, which allows you to go into rank 7 plays for other level 7s that you have. I've seen people run him at 3. I feel he's better off at 2 because his effect isn't needed as much as it would be. But then we have 1 UA Dreadnought Dunker. Now he has the same effect to be summoned as all the other UAs, but also he has once per turn, if this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. And then also he has, when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target one card on the field, destroy it. He can basically get rid of 2 monsters in one go just because of that effect. It is really handy, or you can even get rid of back row. We then have 2 UA Goalkeeper. Now this card I definitely have seen people run at 3, and I feel it is not needed at 3 at all, because I've seen people then run Slugger and Perfect Ace at 2 when I feel they're better at 3 than this card. That's my opinion. If you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, and let me know the reason why you think I'm wrong as well. So his effect is he has the same effect to be summoned, but also once per turn during your opponent's turn you can target 1 UA monster you control, and for that turn it cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. And this is a quick effect. So basically you have him in the field, you can call that effect and protect your monster. Now I understand why people want him at 3, but I feel he works better at 2 with the rest of the deck. You then have the card you want to open up and want to get into your hand all the time, which is your UA Midfielder. He is your level 4 of the deck, and basically you can special summon this card by returning 1 UA monster from your hand. Same effect. He has the same effect as all the other UA monsters, but then he also has, you can target one other UA monster you control, return that face-up monster to your hand, and special summon 1 UA monster from your hand with a different name from that monster. You can only use midfield this effect once per turn. So basically, if you have a midfielder on the field and say you have a Slugger, you can activate his effect, return Slugger, get Perfect Ace out. That'll be the offensive there. Then you can also use Slugger's effect in your hand to get him out and bring him out. It's just a nice combo in the fact that it'll let you make 2. It'll let you go off a bit more special summons than you normally would. Then you have triple Mighty Slugger. He has the same effect as the UAs for summoning, but if this card attacks your opponent, it cannot activate any card's effects until the end of the damage step. So until he attacks, they can't activate on. Then you have Perfect Ace. Same effect to be summoned, but he also has, you can when a card effect is activated. During your opponent's turn, when a card is activated, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. You discard 1 card to negate the activation and destroy it. It's really handy. Then you have Feast of the Wild, level 5. Now, I've seen people only run this at 1. I feel it's better at 2 because of the fact that if you open dead, the odd chance you open dead, like you run triple reinforcements to the army just so you can get him. Or you run these, and you run your heroic challengers, and you run your midfielders. You want to open up them, but on the odds you don't, you open up, say, Feast of the Wild and 2 level 5 cards, since you run 6 of them. Use that, summon them out. You can either return them to your hand to get new plays off, or you can overlay them and get a rank 5 play. So, but the only thing is, their effects are negated when they are summoned, and you can't use you won't be able to use their effects, obviously. So then we have triple reinforcements to the army, 2 terraforming. Now I've seen people not run terraforming because there is another way of getting the spells to your hand, but I just feel that terraforming, you want that field in your hand straight away, and running 2 terraforming as well as running 3 field get you them plays faster and just get you the card into your hand a lot faster. Then you have Power Jersey. Now this card, I used to not run this card when I played UAs before these all came out and all that, but this card is actually amazing in the fact that what it does. I'll just quickly read it out to you there. Equip only to a UA monster. It gains 1000 attack and defense. Also, if it battles an opponent's monster, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. If the equipped monster destroys a monster in a battle, it can make a second attack during this battle phase. During your standby phase, banish the equipped monster. If this card is sent to the graveyard because of the equipped monster returned to the hand, you can return it to your hand as well. So basically, you have that equipped. Say you have that in your hand with a midfielder and say a perfect ace, and you have the field set. You summon your midfielder, get Slugger to your hand, use Slugger's effect to bring him out, equip that to Slugger. He goes up with the field effect activating. He'll go up to 3800. You then attack with him. He gets a second attack off then. Then in your main phase 2, you switch him out, bring Perfect Ace out, you get that back to your hand, and you get Slugger back to your hand. And it just protects you and helps you play out the game, and will help you in the end win the game. So run that at 3 just because it is such a good card. Then you have UA Signing Deal. Basically, this allows you to summon a UA from your deck to the field, but you have to pay. I'll just read it out, guys, because you have to pay 300 for each for the level of it. So special summon one UA monster from your deck, but its effects are negated. Also, cannot be used for a Sinker or an Extra Z monster for a summon. Extra Z material for a summon. You lose life points equal to the level of the monster you special summon by this effect times 300. You can only activate one UA Signing Deal once per turn. This card basically lets you go in. You can't activate their effect, so what you want to do is you want to use this card, then activate the effect of a UA in your hand, return the one on the field to your hand, and then special summon the one in your hand that's already in your hand. So it's handy for getting midfielder to your hand if you need it. Then you run triple UA Stadium. It is the main card of the deck in my opinion, because if you normal summon a monster to your side of the field, you can add one UA monster from your deck to your hand. Also, once per turn, if a monster is special summoned to your side of the field, a UA monster is special summoned to your side of the field, all monsters you currently control gain 500 attack. That keeps going, guys. So say if you have Slugger on the field and you keep him on the field, he'll keep going up with attack as much as you special summon each turn. So it's a really good card in that, and also the fact that it lets you set up your hand as well is really nice. So you run that at 3 because it is, in my opinion, the main card of the deck. Then you run one Bottomless, obviously it's at 1, Compulse, Deep Prison, Warning, Torrential, and then triple UA Penalty Box. Now this card is a really good card in my opinion because it'll let you get your actual spells, your spell cards to your hand, but I'll just read its effect out there quickly. At the start of the damage shift, if a UA monster battles an opponent's monster, you can banish the opponent's monster until your opponent's second end phase. You can only use the effect of the UA Penalty Box once per turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add one UA spell card from your deck to your hand. When this card's in your grave, perfect, you banish it straight away, get one of the spell cards and activate them and set up, because it just allows you to have so many plays and just is amazing in my opinion. So then we go, this deck does not use your extra deck that much. It can, because it really can easy enough, but I feel in my opinion it's not needed as much as other decks would use the extra deck. So we now have, go straight into it anyway, we have Abyss Dweller, we have Castell, M7. I know you're thinking I only have 2 level 6s, but you can set up your hand so easy in this deck. If you really want to make an M7, you can make an M7. Then you have Dark Rebellion, Exciton, Cowboy, Gaia Charger, and I'm just going to quickly make a change there because I only want one Gaia Charger. I have just made changes to this deck there 2 minutes ago. I forgot to edit the deck. I forgot to edit that, so I want to add Heartland Draco into that deck. Then you have Draco Sack, you have Silent Honors, Ragna Zero, Big Eye. Now, same with this, there's only two level 6s, but you can make a rank 6 easy enough if you really want to. Utopia Beyond, for the push plays where you need to get some damage off, you summon him, reduce basically your opponent's two monsters to 0, then you attack, deal 3000 damage, and it works in that way. Then you have Crab King for an out to towers. Now I know Utopia can be an out to towers as well, but Crab King can be made a lot easier. Then you have Vulcasaurus, and finally, as I just added, Heartland Draco. Now guys, that is the deck. So if you like the deck, hit that like button and leave a comment, let me know what you think. And if you didn't like the deck, let me know what edits you think I should make to the deck, because I do want to edit this deck and it will be nice to see what people think of it as well. And if you're interested in more Road to Ranked or more deck profiles, as I'm uploading 2 every week now, and along with other content on the channel, subscribe to the channel. So thanks for watching guys, I'm Pendragon DX, and goodbye.